There are about 7.2 million unreached people group immigrants representing 37 countries, and they live in 60 major cities in the United States and Canada. If you really want to look where they're concentrated, it's in about 12 cities. Most of those are around the major airports. And I believe there's opportunity among those groups for harvesters to work, both among indigenous Native Americans, First Nations, but also among the immigrants that God is bringing to the United States.
What challenges are those people groups facing in North America and Canada?
They're very different groups, of course. One group, the First Nations and Native Americans, of course, have been there from eons, the time unknown they've been there. There has been struggles through the years, much like you've seen in other places where European contact was made and there was the idea of you could force people into Christianity. So there's animosity in that area. And that way sometimes among the Native Americans, First Nations, there's a victim mentality. But also there are those who are strong believers, who love Christ, who are missionaries and evangelists to their own people. Let's take my home state for Oklahoma example. It's in the center part of the United States. Oklahoma means home of the red man. It was set apart in the 1800s as a really one large reservation where all of the Native Americans in the 48 lower states were to be forced, driven to live in this one place. And that became known as the Trail of Tears to many because in the 1830s, that era, they suffered greatly in that forced removal from their homelands. But at the same time, that suffering brought about hunger for God. So in Oklahoma, you see strong churches, small but strong. You see strong missionary endeavors from those churches. But at the same time, even just among one denomination, Baptist, there are over 300 Native American churches, 2/3 of them are without a pastor. Many of the pastors have no formal Bible training.
Yeah.
They're bivocational. And recently at a conference I was at for Native American Christians, we had several conversations with Native American pastors saying, where can I get this training? How can I do this? I never had a chance to go to Bible school. I'm bivocational. So I think that there's tremendous potential to use that there. We think the most effective mission work that we can do is training indigenous pastors, training them up to train their people to do evangelism and discipleship in the church.
Yeah.
There's a huge need for that, even among people that aren't these people groups and are not Native Americans.
Yes.
There's a huge need for that.
Yeah, that's right. And I think you've already touched on this a little bit, but what out of the Harvesters materials and our tools and our curriculum and our training, what can Harvesters offer to these people groups that you're working with?
We are at the beginning stages for harvesters in North America, the US and Canada. When you consider that we're working in over 60 countries and over 50 languages, and we're seeing harvesters being effective among Muslim background believers and among Hindu background believers and in urban areas and rural areas and in communist countries and free countries. I have to ask the question, why won't it work in the US and Canada?
Yeah.
I believe it
Why
will.
not? Yeah, definitely.
I believe it will. We are asking the Lord, show us how we can find those groups that say, yes, we want to do this training. We ask daily, God, where are you at work in North America? And how can we join you in that work? What are you doing? Lord, show us and help us be available and surrendered. That would be our first request.
Yeah.
Another request would be 12 men of peace, 12 men from, be it unreached people groups, I don't care what tribe or nationality they are, 12 Native American groups, First Nation groups, 12 men of peace who would say, we want to join you in this. We want to gather our people together to do this training. That would be the second request.